In this lesson, we will cover how to edit a feature and the features sketch inside of Autodesk Inventor. So currently I have a blank part file open. I'm going to draw in a rectangle. And let's place 2 dimensions on it to fully constrain it. So again, you'll notice sketch 1, switch to an isometric view. Going to extrude the sketch out 10 millimeters. So now what I want to do is I want to go back and make some dimensional changes to that. So you'll notice that under extrusion 1, there is the sketch. So either I can double click on the sketch and all the dimensions will reappear, and then I can simply double click on any one of those dimensions, values, click on update, and the feature will update to reflect that new change. I can also right click on the sketch and click edit sketch. Will take me right back to the same environment. So let's change that back to 25. Again, do an update, or return will do the same thing. I can also right click on the extrusion and click on edit sketch. So all of those methods will allow me to get to the exact same place when editing the sketch. Now, if I want to edit the depth of this, what I can do is, again, let me just minimize the extrusion. I can double click on extrusion 1 and it will bring up the dialog box that it was used to create it. So in this case, I could go back and change it to 20 millimeters. I can also right click on the feature and click edit feature. Let's change that to 25. And under the More tab, I can also add a taper if I wanted to. Of course, you could also do this while the part was created as well. So plus will add some material. Double click on that again. If I change it to negative 10 degrees of taper, it'll remove material on the way up. So let's edit that feature one more time. I'm going to take the taper to 0 and let's change the distance to 15 millimeters. I'm going to edit the sketch one more time and I'm going to create an island. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the look at tool to look straight down on that component here. I'm going to just place in a rectangle, apply a couple dimensions to it just to get it fairly close. I'm going to set up a relationship between those just by selecting that dimension. And for now, that'll be okay. I'm going to click on the F6 key to turn to an isometric view. I'm going to click on update and watch what happens here. You'll notice as I spin the geometry around, that rectangle was not cut out. The reason it was not cut out is that Inventor does not realize that that inside rectangle exists in the profile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the feature, and then for the profile button, click on that, and then hold down the Control or Shift key and remove that center area to get my cutout. So of course, as you're modeling, we don't suggest to use islands. It would be much better if this was actually its own feature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the sketch and I'm going to remove the internal rectangle. I'm going to go ahead and click on update. And by doing so, Autodesk Inventor is coming back up with an error message here stating that the extrusion that was built previously cannot be rebuilt. Of course, the internal rectangle does not exist. So I'm going to go ahead and click on accept here. And of course, you'll notice a couple different things. I have the warning inside of the browser. As well, up on the standard toolbar or above the standard toolbar, I have the recover. If I click on the recover, the Design Doctor will basically walk you through how to fix this. So with the broken loop, highlight, unhighlight the issue. So in this case, we're going to edit the extruded feature. So let's go ahead and do that. Edit the feature, and all I need to do to fix this is tell Inventor to basically use the outside rectangle, the only one that exists. The next portion that I want to talk about is I'm going to open up the features.ipt file that we had open before. So sometimes as you go through your browser, I can go back here and I can edit that specific feature. But if the browser gets very complicated, it may be very difficult to go back and see that feature exist in that tree. So sometimes if I would right click on here, I'm looking for an edit feature, and I can cycle through usually to find that with the select other tool. And I can do an edit feature that way to bring back up the dialog box that was used to create, in this case, the hole. The other way to go back and do this is with the select tool from the standard toolbar. I'm going to change it to feature priority. And then under feature priority now, as I move my cursor, you see that I'm highlighting the feature level instead. So right click, edit feature, and let's change that to 15 millimeters. And I just edited the part. So those are the main ways of editing a feature and a features sketch.